in the Trinity National Forest, and we're going to check out this trail behind me here that goes to the Hall City Caves. We'll take you along. The Hall City Caves has become sort of a treasure hunt for divers over the years. The story is that two miners carrying $40,000 in gold were ambushed and killed by natives, who then took the gold and dropped it in the water-filled shaft at the back of the cave. The shaft at the cave is said to be bottomless because there's no one that's ever been able to get to the bottom. Divers have gone 270 feet and not reached it. There are numerous YouTube videos documenting the cave dives if you're interested. You won't see that on this channel, though.
This is trippy. This is the end where it goes underground, and it's so cold. I can see my breath.
We found camp here. It's a Forest Service campground in the Trinity National Forest, Deerlick Springs. And it's a really cute little place. The rooftop tent setup on the Dodge Ram worked out really well. The biggest downfall that we found was that it's so much taller than the Jeep, it makes it much more difficult to deploy and take down the tent. We each had to use step stools to reach everything, and it also puts the ladder at its furthest extension. We got camp set up here at Deerlick Springs. When Trey was a kid, his dad was a timber faller, and they spent a summer out here, so he wanted to bring me out and show me what he remembered. Back then, it was still an operational resort, very rustic resort. It had a cafe and a bingo hall and mineral soaking pools. So we'll take you out and show you the soaking pools. It now operates as a hip camp, and I'll leave the link in the description below about the hip camp, how to book it. The current caretaker was really nice. He gave us permission to walk all over the property and check everything out. We'll take a little walk around the property and check out some of the old cabins and the old mineral springs soaking pools. Here's our camp set up with the Dodge Ram. We're not at the hip camp. We're at a Forest Service campground close by. And it's right on this little creek. Nice little spot. Got shade trees and a place for the hammock. These are the natural mineral springs. And they collected in these pools here and heated here. And then I'll show you the baths down below. The water's really black. And it really smells very sulfury. And you can see where the minerals drain into the creek, the black area. All right, and then the pipes would come down into the outside tubs for soaking. And over here, inside tubs.
In 1885, John Coombs developed the springs into a health resort. In 1926, 2,000 bottles of spring water were shipped to New York every day. Bottling operations ceased in 1934. Over the years, many people came to the soaking tubs for the spring water's health benefits. They claimed that it would cure their arthritis and other ailments.
And here's one of the old cabins that Trey remembers. For dinner tonight, we're having shrimp stir fry. And this is dinner. We just finished our breakfast, easy breakfast, and right behind our camp there's a trailhead over here that we're going to take and see where it goes. It's called Corral Gulch. Just really old fencing out here. You can see how it's grown into the trees. Hoping we're going to find an old corral out here somewhere by the name of the trail, but it doesn't seem to be anything like that out here. That old fence was the closest thing we found. So we're going to turn around and head back to camp. This is the Forest Service campground where we're staying. No one else here. You can see our truck up there. No one else in this whole place. I should also mention with this campsite, it's free. As of July 2022, this campground is free and it has pit toilets. No water, but it is right on the creek, which is really nice, and it's very peaceful. Made it to the South Fork of the Trinity River and gonna stop and have a little lunch here. Okay, you probably think we've lost our minds driving through water after what happened in the last video, but this was a through road and we walked the water crossing first. If you haven't seen that last video, I'll link it below. This was one of our favorite campsites in the area, and we had hoped to stay here tonight, but it was pretty burned from the August complex fire. Here's a picture from when we camped there just before the fire in 2020. We're still in Trinity National Forest, and we made it up to Horseridge Fire Lookout. This is our third attempt to come up here. We always hit snow, but we made it all the way this time, and let's check it out. Looks like you used to be able to go inside. There's a sign there, but it's all locked now. We came down the road about another 40 minutes, and now we're at Picket Peak Fire Lookout. And it looks like you can go in this one. We're in Six Rivers National Forest now, and we're gonna climb this fire lookout. So this door is supposed to be locked, but somebody broke the lock. And this is the inside of the fire lookout. And we'll call it in to the Forest Service. This is taking everything I have to be up here right now. There's the truck. Way off in the distance there is Mount Shasta. You can barely see it. Right there. So we got to go up inside Picket Peak, up to the top and look around. You're not supposed to go inside, but someone broke in. And then down at the bottom here, somebody broke into their storage facility. So as long as people do things like this, it's all going to be off limits to us in the future, and we won't get to be out here exploring. We've been following some of this backcountry discovery route today.
Really liking the new Milestar Patagonia XTs, except all the rocks that they pick up. I want to break everybody's windshield when we get back on the pavement.
So we made it to all the spots we wanted to see on this trip, and all of our camping spots were either non-existent or burned out. Some places we'd been before and they were all burned out. So I think we're just gonna head home. We stopped here at the Mad River Burger Barn, gonna have some dinner here, and then we'll just head home and cut it a little bit short. But we did get to see a lot of incredible things.
Thanks for following along. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if you'd like to see more adventures, please consider subscribing. Until then, go get out there.